I'm here in a very chilly morning on the southern edge of Montcalm County, Michigan, and I'm here for a pretty interesting member of the genus Ranunculus, buttercups. And at the edge of this easement, under all these oak saplings, we find it blooming. This is Ranunculus rhomboidensis, the prairie buttercup, and you can see it flowering there. It's a very basal member of the eudicots. So we have the 5 petals, 5 sepals under them, and there's a lot of concentric rings of anthers surrounding the pistils there, the green part in the middle. And when those get pollinated and the seeds mature, they will swell up in like a whole spherical bunch of achenes, so bare seeds, and those will get dispersed. And the leaves here, the whole plant is very hairy, but the leaves here are not lobed or compound. They're all whole or entire like this, and they're all very hairy. It blooms very early in spring, just like a lot of other buttercups, but this one grows exclusively in upland areas, dry, open, sandy areas like this. And in Michigan, there's only really 2 places where you can find it. You can find it in open, sandy areas like this, specifically in Montcalm counties and like Kent counties, in a very small area, and also in the western Upper Peninsula on the Keweenaw Peninsula, where it grows on, I think, like rock outcrops and stuff like that. Those are really the only 2 places that it grows in Michigan. And right here, you can see we have another plant here. This one is a little further along in the blooming process. You can see this. These are the achenes. This flower's already done, and there's only 2 little flowers, 2 little plants in this small area, and I'll try to look for more and hopefully see some other cool stuff on the way. So I've taken a slight detour into the actual forest because the forest here is a pretty nice oak forest. So most of these trees here are oaks, and when you get forests like these, a very common component of the understory are these small trees in the genus Amelanchier. So right here, these are its flowers, and this tree is rather small. It's still pretty young, but they can get maybe like 30 feet tall at the most. And these are in the rose family, same as like apples and everything. And the reason why I say a tree in the genus Amelanchier rather than an actual species is because these can be very tricky to identify, and I don't know the exact species off the top of my head. But you see it's got the classic rose flowers with the 5 petals, and I really love this genus, even though it is really hard to define species sometimes because they also hybridize readily. It's a really cool sight to see during spring when they're blooming like this, and you can easily pick them out when you're driving as well, due to their flowers. And they some common names for this genus are juneberries, serviceberries, and shadbush. So I know they do produce edible berries that were used a lot by Native Americans, and I've never really tried them. I don't know how good they are or anything, but they are very cool, and they're very cool part of the oak forest understory. And you can see there's a bit of a taller one back here. Let me get a little closer. So right here, it's growing up, and in there it's a little hard to make out. If I can get it branched down, I can't seem to, but there's flowers in these branches. And again, I'm not sure what species this is. I am able to identify like 2 species in this genus, but I think this is a different one, so I don't really know. But very cool to see either way. Well, I went out to the more open section that's being cleared under this power line easement, and I found a different species of Ranunculus that I really did not expect to see here. This is Ranunculus fascicularis, the early buttercup. And this species blooms also very early in spring, like Ranunculus rhomboidensis, but it's a little more widespread in its distribution throughout the state. And I think the places where it usually grows are in oak savannas, open areas like this. So the clearing that happens, the mowing under the easement, is what allows this open habitat for both of these Ranunculus species to grow. And we have this flower here. It's not really open, probably because it's so cold out right now. But you can see the same Ranunculus flower structure with the ovaries in the middle. And there's some buds down there in the center. Another flower, flower bud right there. But you can see the leaves here are a little different than the Ranunculus rhomboidensis leaves, because they're compound like this, and they're also deeply lobed, whereas the rhomboidensis leaves were whole, entire. They were kind of like roundish, ovalish shaped. So really cool to see here. I did not expect to see the species here, but it's a very cool sight. I don't think I've ever seen that species before, or the other ones, so this is very cool. And again, probably not like 10 feet away from the Ranunculus fascicularis, there's another instance of this Ranunculus rhomboidensis. Or rhomboideus, I don't really know. But yeah, this one's also growing in the very open area. And I think because this area is more exposed, it's a lot further along in its life cycle. So there's some flower buds here, and then there's some flowers that are a little past their prime. But extremely cool. I've never really seen an area like this before. I really like this place. So I took a little detour down to a different area close by. In this area, this trail used to be a railroad, so this is the old right-of-way. And because of that, some interesting oak barrens habitat has been preserved on the edges of this trail. And because of that, we have this species over here, just off the trail. These are viola pedata, the birdfoot violet. And they're always special when you find them, because they require high quality open habitats like this. And there's actually a lot of them here. That's the only one that's blooming right now, because I'm here a little early. But you see there's a lot of plants that just aren't ready to bloom yet. And this violet is very uncommon, restricted to high quality habitat, so it's cool to see it here. And their flower color and shape is very variable. Like, this is the darkest purple I've ever seen this plant flower. So that's really cool, and it's always special to see. Got it. Then on the other side of the trail, I'm not going to get too close, but there's some vaccinium blueberry species flowering here. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see the flowers on these low shrubs. I think these are lowbrush blueberries, angustifolium, but I'm not really 100% sure, and vaccinium is kind of a difficult genus, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's another species that's very common in these oak barrens, so it's really cool to find them here. And to finish off this video, unless I find something cool, right at my turnaround point, I look down and I see another prairie buttercup. And I saw some more along the trail back there, but I didn't think there would be any growing all the way over here. So that's really cool. Such a unique species. I wonder how it's doing in Michigan. Kind of seems like it's spreading here because the first time this species was observed in Montcalm County was, I think, in 2012. So it was either just overlooked because it bloomed so early, or it's been spreading to this county.